Where you stand, you see proud families, friends and neighbors, sharing gifts and helping hands. We're people helping people, and we're proud that we can say we're always getting better and growing stronger every day. Taking pride in Mobile, haven't you noticed? We've got it all right here at home. Nothing can stop us. Taking pride in where we're going. Taking pride in who we are. Mobile, show your pride. Together we'll go far. There's a feeling of excitement. You can see it everywhere. The pride of our whole region is the heartbeat that we share. The heartbeat that we share. Taking pride in Mobile. Haven't you noticed? We've got it all right here at home. Nothing can stop us. Taking pride in where we're going. Taking pride in who we are. Mobile, show your pride. Together we'll go far.
Come ride a little train going down the track at the junction. Woo, woo! Very cool junction. There's old Uncle Joe moving kind of slow at the junction. Woo, woo! Very cool junction. I will return.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
We have an accident on West Lee Street at North V Street in Pensacola. Also, crews have been on the scene of an accident, Wilson Avenue at Turner Road in Mobile. The order of polka dots will roll tonight at 6:30 along the downtown route, and the Bankhead Tunnel will close at 5:30. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your local store. Football and King's Irresistible Hawaiian Sliders. There's nothing like it.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Now, here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Pay. That's pay. Enter it now at newsradio710.com. The Uncle Henry Show. Weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
Uncle Hank, I saw your picture on the computer, the 710 page on your Uncle Henry Show page. I saw a picture of you. This is not a derogatory remark, Hank, but you look like I need a drink. Without a picture, you look like I need a drink. Talk to you later.
Message deleted.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you. I appreciate very much you listening to the Uncle Henry Show. I really do appreciate it. Once again, here we are together, me and you, the two of us here trying to figure out what is going on in the world around us. And it's just more insanity every day. When I look at the news, every day there just seems to be some type of avalanche of it. Like I want to step away from the news so I don't get buried by the nuttiness. Now, if you'd like to call in about something, you can. Whatever topic you want to bring it forward as long as it ain't pornographic, nothing nasty like that. Anything that's not nasty, feel free to bring it forward. 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, Uncle Henry at iHeartMedia.com. That's Uncle Henry at iHeartMedia.com. So want to start off this evening with you talking about some stuff that the Alabama legislature is up to up there in Montgomery. They got a number of bits of they love making new rules up there. They just love it. And they got a bunch of stuff in the works. One thing that we hadn't talked about yet, you probably heard all about it by now, but there is once again gambling legislation that has been introduced in the Alabama legislature. Now, one of the lady legislators that is bringing this up seems to be very optimistic about this. But I would just caution you: do not get too excited. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath on Alabama getting any gambling approved this legislative session. But let's learn together. Let's listen together. I've got a story here from, I think this is from WSFA up in Montgomery, a stepsister station to Fox 10. Here is a report on what they are trying to do with gambling legislation in Alabama.
Another attempt at creating an Alabama lottery is now up for debate inside Alabama's legislature.
It comes up nearly every session, and each proposal is just a little bit different. But lawmakers haven't passed a gambling bill in more than a quarter century. Our political correspondent...
By the way, now, we haven't even started the story, and I've already paused it, but you just heard the news guy say that the Alabama legislature hadn't passed anything gambling-related in 25 years. In 25 years. Why do you think that is? Is it because Alabama citizens don't want a lottery? They don't want to buy a lottery ticket? You think that's why? Just curious. Why do you think it is? You know, I ran into a few state legislators a few weeks ago at an event, and I asked a couple of these state legislators, I said, who could you tell me as a citizen, who really runs this state? Who's really running things? The looks I got. They, when I asked that question, I saw little flickers of fear in the eyeballs, like they just didn't want to tell me, didn't want to talk about it. Little flickers of fear there. So anyway, 25 years, no gambling legislation has passed in the legislature, but now, could this year be different?
Jessica Umbro is at the State House right now with this latest attempt. So, Jessica, could this finally be the year?
Well, for the sponsors of this bill, they say yes, this is the year. They feel that they have a simple bill that they're proposing that would give Alabamians the option to give the state permission to build that lottery system. But the sponsor calls it bare bones on purpose. It doesn't get into a lot of the details about the economics behind the bill. But there is skepticism on whether or not this will end up passing.
I'm one of those people that may go drive across the
This is a legislator, a lady that is proposing this.
State line to get a ticket, and you see nothing but Alabama tags there.
Democratic Senator Marika Coleman is the primary sponsor. She's joined by a handful of Senate Democrats in a bill that would allow Alabamians to vote on if they want the state to establish a state lottery. The bill would also allow in-person casino games and in-person and online sports betting. It does not go into detail about where the revenue would go, but Senator Coleman said...
Now, just hearing this, it almost makes me think we shouldn't even hear the rest. Probably shouldn't listen to the rest of the story because it just stands no chance, right? I mean, it would essentially legalize almost every kind of gambling. I mean, any chance at all this could pass. back to the story.
Says that's intentional.
My bill is not specifically about the actual revenue, or is it going to go to the general fund, Medicaid, or to the education trust fund. It is, Alabamians, do you want us to do this?
It's not the first time the legislature has considered similar legislation. Republican Senator Greg Albritton has filed his own lottery bills in the past. He says the feedback he's gotten from voters is that the particulars are not the focus.
Regardless of how it's designed, regardless of who controls what, regardless of how the money is divided, I don't think the public cares about that so much. They just think they have the right to determine and to have this opportunity.
Albritton is skeptical that this is the year for a gaming bill to pass, but he says this year's bill is helping to keep the topic alive in the legislature.
The merry-go-round. Here we go again. We tried it before. I guess we're going to try it again.
If this bill gets passed and if Alabama voters give it the approval at the ballot box, the legislature would be tasked with creating a committee to really build up that lottery system and regulate gambling. And the governor would also have the ability to, or be tasked with, negotiating a tribal state gaming agreement with the Porch Band of Creek Indians. They're a group that have casinos around the state. Live at the State House, Jessica Umbro, WSFA 12 News.
All right, so, and Mr. Albritton made a good point, because you heard him say there that when he talks to voters, and he's talked to them through the years, they don't seem to care where the money would go, whatever money would be generated. They just want to buy a lottery ticket, or they just want to go play slot machines or whatever it is they want to do. They don't really. And I know you, the listener, you care because you're listening to talk radio, and the people that listen to talk radio are either very involved and caring individuals like you are, or they're nuts. Those are the two categories that listen to talk radio. And I know you care where the money would go and have an opinion on it. But the average citizen probably could care less, as long as they get to buy their fantasy, buy their lottery ticket, and then sit at home and fantasize about what they would buy if they got the money. All right, hey, I got more to get into, but we got to take a time out for traffic and weather and words from our sponsors. I'll be right back with more Uncle Henry's Show.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
Watch for debris in the roadway in Milton on Tunnel Road at Chumuckla Highway. In Mobile, the order of polka dots is ready to roll at 6:30 along the downtown route, and the Bankhead Tunnel will close at about 5:30. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report.
All right, YouTube viewers, Shelby is back in the studio. What did you leave behind, Shelby?
My mouse.
Oh, she's got to get her computer mouse.
I want to show my shirt.
Oh, well, get right here. Get closer to the. There you go.
Joe knows. You know what that means?
It's no. What does Joe know?
You don't know what it means?
What does it mean?
Joe Kane knows who started it. Mobile.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I didn't know that it was that involved.
It is that involved.
All
And
right.
you know what?
What?
You know that saying where you say to somebody something and they go, "Oh, you got a mouse in your pocket?" I do have a mouse in my pocket right now.
Okay, I've never heard that. I'm afraid to even Google that. Goodbye. All right. Well, I don't even want to know about mouses in pockets. I've never heard this before, and I'm not going to Google it. All right. YouTube. Is there anybody watching on the YouTube? Let me check. Let me go to the desktop computer that you can't see and activate the computer and activate the YouTube. And I will learn if there are viewers. And if there aren't, then that means I don't have to talk during the commercial breaks. I can then think about what I might say in the future, and is it wise to say it? Oh, and there are we got a small number, one of our smaller groups of people watching. Let's see, Bama Big Man, Larry Morting, Ken. Bill O'Dell, Ben Griffin, Nutrition Guy, the Cats Trio. By the way, thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel Cats Trio. I'll endeavor to do a better job. to make it a good follow for you. Hello to Dwayne, KP of shirtbutter.com. JD, John Daniel. What would make it a large group of people watching? Well, JD, for me, something like 40. That would be my arbitrary number, 40. But I'll take what I can get. Oh, congratulations to KP eating tacos. This is good. Being able to, look, you get to a point in life where you can afford a taco when you want one. And that's, you know what, that is wealth. The real definition of wealth in life is to have a loving family and easy access to tacos. Those are good. Those are signs of wealth. Hello to Sharon of Fairhope. Oh, 68-year-old Chris of West Luxley. 68-year-old Chris, please borrow every person's phone you know and subscribe to the Uncle Henry Show on YouTube using everyone's phone. Thank you for that. That will help me grow the numbers. All right, going to be back on the radio here in just a few minutes. Going to be back on here in less than a minute. Who else? Have I left anybody out? I mentioned Bill O'Dell and Larry Morting. Norman Richardson. Thank you for looking in. Larry Morting, the gaming the Indian gambling lobby. Yeah, I asked a legislator who really runs the state. You should have looked. The look on their face, that they were doing calculations in their head of like, what should I tell him? What should I tell him?
There's nothing like it.
News? Check. Traffic and weather? Check. Opinions? Check. This is the Uncle Henry Show, only on News Radio 710 WNTM.
The Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. It's 5:20. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Telephone number 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. You can also watch the Uncle Henry Show live on YouTube. Just look for Uncle Henry Show on YouTube. Hello, caller.
Good evening, Uncle Henry.
Bert, you are live on the radio.
There's something I would like to see, Uncle Henry.
Tell me.
I would like to see full disclosure of which of our legislators are taking campaign contributions either openly or through obscure channels that hide the source from out-of-state gambling interests such as Mississippi casino owners. I'd like to see the truth come out as to which ones are voting against gambling because they're getting paid to.
Well, Bert, you know that contributions made in the legal way, we can all look those up and figure that out. But now the other kind of contributions you're talking about, how would we ever find that out? I don't know that we could we?
There's such a thing as dark money where it goes through political action committees and things like that it's pretty hard to discover the source. But I'd like to know which ones are openly taking contributions from out-of-state gambling interests to keep us traveling out-of-state to gamble. I'd really like to know that because for years it was Bentley standing in the way. He was not going to sign any kind of gambling bill. Then he had a change of heart. And then Governor Meemaw said, all right, I'll sign it if it's the right kind of bill. And it was still the legislature that kept it bottled up. And it might be the same thing all the way down the line, this year and every year. As long as they're taking contributions from out-of-state gambling interests, and it's not all out in the open as to why they're voting against gambling.
Well, you know, a lot of people, as I was mentioning, don't really care about how it happens. They just want to be able to buy a lottery ticket, or they want to be able to go play the game of whatever game they choose to play. That's all they want. But, you know, Bert, if they were to legalize gambling, like casino gambling and stuff like that, a few people would get really, really wealthy from it. And maybe the whole reason it's held up is fighting over who gets to make all the money.
The Robert De Niro movie Casino is one of my favorites, Uncle Henry. I can watch it over and over again and never get tired of it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it?
It's him. Who else is in it with him? Is it the one that has Don Rickles in it?
Absolutely.
Yes, I have watched it because Don Rickles was in it. So, yes, I have seen that movie.
He has a great role in that movie.
Yes.
He kind of made that one. So, yeah, that's one of my favorites. It's kind of the way things operate. But I'm one of those people that doesn't care how it's spent. I mean, I'm on Medicaid, so I hope some of it goes that way. But I'm one of the people that's just bring it on, no matter how y'all want to argue about how the money gets spent. Well, Henry, I want to remind your listeners one more time, tomorrow afternoon at 4, Blues Tavern, me and a drummer.
I really wish I could be there, Bert. You and a drummer tomorrow from 4 to 6:30 at the Blues Tavern on Halls Mill Road. I've mentioned before, it's a great place to see live music. I'm going to make it one day, Bert. Even if I have to take time off, I'm going to be coming to see you one day.
I sure hope so. Thank you for taking my call, Uncle Henry.
Bert, thank you, and hope you have a good crowd out there at the Blues Tavern tomorrow. Bert is very good-natured, as you can tell from his phone calls. He's exceptionally well-read. He can carry on a fine conversation, I guess, after the music. And think about all of the fun you could have talking to Bert about music. So that's Bert on keyboards and vocals with a drummer tomorrow at the Blues Tavern on Halls Mill Road in Mobile. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. It's funny, just thinking about gambling legislation once again being in the legislature, it just makes me wonder what will happen first. The building of that bridge or a state lottery in Alabama? What would happen first? Hello, caller.
Hey, Uncle Henry.
Hey, you are live on the radio.
Golly, I feel special.
You are.
You was talking to your last call, I believe it was, about somebody getting extremely rich. There are 45 other states in this United States of ours,
right,
that have a lottery.
Yes, they do.
And yep, there's somebody getting rich. If there's not anybody getting rich, they're not going to do it. So you just swallow that pill and
right,
take it as what it is. Yep, somebody's going to get rich. Maybe it'll be the Indians. Maybe it'll be some businessman. Who knows? But if you want to try to start a lottery in a state and say, okay, nobody's going to get rich, then
right,
it's never going to happen.
Well, I agree with that. I'm just wondering, is that the holdup? Is that the holdup? Is they can't decide who they're going to let get really rich or not? Could you think that maybe that's holding things up?
In Alabama politics, it's been my experience. I'm a young man. Today's my birthday, as a matter of fact.
Well, happy birthday!
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. But it's been my experience that all the scams and schemes that's been going on, I mean, just around here in Mobile. I've lived here my entire life, 52 years. And there's always some kind of junk going on somewhere. And it is what it is.
Well said. I can't argue with any of that.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, hey, before you go, how are you going to celebrate your birthday?
I just got done eating some crawfish that were very delicious. and now I'm fixing to go and find something else to eat.
All right, well, good luck. I hope you have an enjoyable birthday dinner, whatever it is.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
All right, thank you very much. Excellent. I'm going to have to go back to the recording of this show and pull out that quote. The caller, in his birthday wisdom, was telling us something like, in Mobile, what did he say? There's always some kind of junk going on. It is what it is. It was something to that effect. There's always some junk going on, and it is what it is. Well said. I appreciate it. The wisdom of the callers. I love the wisdom, because callers live in the real world. You know, you tune into all these talk shows, and you see these talking heads on TV. And these people on TV especially, that they have all these opinions on current events. But a lot of these people that you see on TV, they don't live in the real world like that last guy. That last guy just ate crawfish and called the show. That's reality. Bert is playing at the Blues Tavern tomorrow with just a drummer and his keyboard. That's the real world. I want to hear from people in the real world, not from experts on TV.
Time saver traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design.com Traffic Center.
We have an accident reported on I-10 West approaching Pensacola Boulevard. Delays are backed up to I-110. The Order of Polka Dots will be parading tonight at 6:30 along the downtown route, and the Bankhead Tunnel will close at about 5:30. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Bakke.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders.
Remember that you can bring your family together with the proper sandwich.
Local store. Football and King's Irresistible Hawaiian Sliders. There's nothing like it.
If you see traffic trouble.
If I ever have to go into some type of counseling session, I'm going to immediately tell the counselor, we didn't have the right sandwiches. That's our basic problem.
Hello, I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News. A man told investigators he and the Voices planned a violent standoff with police on Tuscaloosa Street. Justin Senia and his wife Ariel Perot are accused of firing dozens of shots at officers from their home last month. Mobile Police Lieutenant Lorenzo Matthews was shot and is now recovering from life-altering injuries. Investigators say Senia admitted the goal was for police to kill them both. Senia and Perot face a dozen attempted murder charges. Defense attorneys cite mental illness, stating Senia suffers from bipolar disorder and had stopped his medication. Governor Kay Ivey awarding $4.5 million in grants to help low-income people in Alabama. The funding will try to alleviate poverty and help neighbors achieve economic self-sufficiency. 18 community action agencies across the state will receive the Community Services Block Grants. These grants will support programs focused on job placement, improving budgeting skills, and providing emergency assistance for essentials like health services, food, and housing. While hundreds of students are helping to restore Gulf State Park's coastal dunes, as part of a conservation effort, students spent 2 days installing native vegetation. The Planting for Protection event is a collaboration between Gulf Shore City Schools, Dune Doctors, and Gulf State Park. High school seniors mentored younger elementary students, teaching them about the restoration process. I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News on this iHeartRadio station.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Fox News, I'm Tom Graham. Investigators in Arizona continue their search for the 84-year-old mother of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie. They offered fresh details into the timeline of Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. She was last seen Saturday night, reported missing Sunday.
1:47 a.m. Sunday morning. That's when the doorbell camera was apparently disconnected. You go then to 2:28 a.m. that same Sunday morning, 41 minutes later, and that is when Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker that she wears was disconnected from her iPhone.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt. A rally being held today as workers at the Washington Post speak out against the latest round of layoffs.
Save the Post! Save the Post!
The newspaper eliminated its sports section and several foreign bureaus. America is listening to Fox News.
YouTube viewers, going to be back on the radio here in just a couple of minutes. I'll be back on the radio in just a couple of minutes. Hello to Ben Griffin, talking about crawfishing. Richard Harvey, Excalibur One Force. You know, Excalibur One Force, I have looked at Pluto TV from time to time. There's just not enough time for all the garbage that is available streaming. There's not enough time for all the garbage that's on free television, on rabbit ears. There's all kind of garbage. There's just a universe of garbage for any screen. All right, let's see. What can I tell you? Going to be back on the radio here in about 90 seconds. Let me see. Let me do a quick look at the weird news file, and hope I have time to deliver to you a weird news story. All right, a system malfunction at a car wash in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, left a woman stuck inside the car wash for almost an hour. Felicia Sullivan documented the whole experience. While waiting to be freed from the facility, she had driven in for a routine wash. The equipment suddenly stopped working. The doors would not open. She was trapped inside of her vehicle. She eventually got out by calling the fire department for help. The manager gave her lots and lots of gift cards. And she documented the entire process because after she called the fire department, I believe she then went on TikTok, of course. All right, back on the radio here in less than 30 seconds. Being trapped in a car wash, I can think of many worse places. None of us want to be trapped. There are worse places to be trapped.
/Lifesaver. That's mobileso.com/lifesaver.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
It says the Uncle Henry Show. It's 5:35. You can hear me on FM radio Monday through Friday, playing today's hottest country music on 95 KSJ. Tomorrow, I'll have your chance to win tickets to see Rascal Flatts. Rascal Flatts are going to be at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum in Biloxi, February 19th. I'll have your chance to win tickets in the 11 o'clock hour tomorrow. Be listening to 95 KSJ. A little after 11 o'clock, and I'll tell you how to win those Rascal Flatts concert tickets. And there's another chance to win tickets at the website, 95ksj.com. And yes, indeed, the Bankhead Tunnel is closed now because there is a parade set for about an hour from now in downtown Mobile. In case you forgot it was that time of year and you're out and about in that part of town, keep in mind, Mardi Gras Parade, the Polka Dots parading tonight in downtown Mobile at 6:30. Telephone number, if you want to call me and tell me something, 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Now, in the last half hour of the show, I told you about how the Alabama legislature has a new gambling bill that they're bringing it forward. Who knows? You know, judging by the last 25 years, hadn't been good for gambling bills in the Alabama legislature in the last 25 years, but they got that gambling bill going now. There's also another bit of legislation that the legislature is working on. This has to do with SNAP benefits, and there are some Alabama lawmakers that want to stop people from buying soda and candy with their SNAP benefits. Now, I want to share with you this story. This is a brief story from WAFF up in Huntsville, a stepsister station to Fox 10. The main reason I'm playing this for you is they have, I believe, the sponsor of the bill interviewed, and he's just got a wonderful Southern accent. He's got one of those accents that when you hear the guy talk, you go, yeah, okay, that's a guy from Alabama, and sounds like an Alabama politician. So let's listen together. We'll get the gist behind this legislation that, if passed and signed into law, would stop people on SNAP from buying candy and sodas with their SNAP.
Senate Bill 57 wants to ban all soda and candy from SNAP benefits. WAFF 48's Noah Cowell is live for us at Star Market in Huntsville. Noah, you talked to the bill's sponsors who stand firmly behind this change.
Margot, the first two words of SNAP, supplemental nutrition. It's a category that Senator Larry Stutz says should not include sodas or candy. He says this bill is all about managing the obesity problem here in Alabama. After all, we do live in a state that ranks top 5 in that category from last year.
All right, again, we're being reminded that in Alabama, we rank in the top 5 for obesity. That when it comes to being obese, we're in the top 5. Now, you may look at that as bad because of what it does to a person's health. But, the flip side of that is that I think it says that we've got some outstanding food here in the state of Alabama. Otherwise, why would we be eating so much of it?
Now, this bill would require the Department of Human Resources to request a waiver to make candy and soda ineligible from SNAP benefits. Senator Stutz co-sponsors the bill, and he says SNAP benefits are supposed to give people food and drinks that are necessities.
All right, let's listen. I just want to hear the accent. Now, you might agree with the sentiment as well, but I like hearing this guy's accent. Sounds like an Alabama politician.
But soda and candy bars, he says, are just unhealthy luxuries that people who are on this program should be avoiding. One past SNAP beneficiary told me today it's best to steer these people towards healthier items. Senator Stutz says if people want those unhealthier options, it isn't the state's job to provide that for them.
Buy it with your money and not with my money. If you want to buy one, buy it. But a taxpayer-supported program shouldn't be available to do that. The freedom you give up for getting supplemental spending money is your choices might be limited.
Right, and so that voice, that sounds like a great talk show caller voice. I need to see if I can get that state senator to start calling the show just to give comment.
Now, Stutz said that the bill did go through the Senate committee earlier today in Montgomery.
All right, and I think the legislature is out until next week now. But this could happen. I don't know. I'm trying to imagine it not passing in the Alabama legislature. This sounds like one of those things that many people would be in favor of, and that is having some restriction on what people can buy with the SNAP benefits. 251-479-2723, the telephone number here on the Uncle Henry Show. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. This is actually, I think, a very measured approach to the whole SNAP benefit thing. Because if somebody wanted to get real draconian about it, they could go in with legislation and just tell people that all you can get is beans and rice and chicken legs and stuff like that. They could be a lot tougher. They could be a lot tougher. Just telling people you got to eat some beans, get some vegetables, maybe grits and eggs and stuff like that. So this is a moderate approach on the issue, just stopping candy and soda. Now, let's see. Before we go to break, I think I've got a voicemail. Time for a voicemail from one of the callers. If you want to leave a voicemail for the Uncle Henry Show, 251-216-1976. That's 251-216-1976 to leave a message for the Uncle Henry Show. Let me say, I got this message last night.
Roll Tide, Uncle. Sitting here in my recliner watching the Sean Hannity show. And, of course, they're all over this kidnapping of Savannah Guthrie's mom, Annie Guthrie.
Right.
And who has he got on there with him to discuss the case? None other than Nancy Grace.
Oh, Nancy Grace was on Hannity last night, huh?
And Nancy looks like she's dropped a few pounds, Unc.
Well, nowadays, Ozempic, half the country's lost a few.
Maybe she had a facelift or something. It's difficult for me to tell, but she looks a little different.
Could be that she's aging.
Oh, Nancy, I forgot about how much I'd missed her. It's been a while since she's not been on your show. How about seeing if you can get her back on there, huh?
68-year-old Chris of West Longstreet, thank you for the update. Thank you for watching Hannity and telling me what was on it so that I never have to watch it. So thank you for that. Now, you talked about the Nancy Grace feature that we used to have on this show. They don't make it anymore. The Nancy Grace feature has been suspended, so they don't do that radio feature anymore. But, and I think the main reason that radio feature with Nancy Grace did not work good is because she would come on and talk about a crime in her Nancy Grace radio feature, but we never got to hear her reaction to it. And I think that's why people like watching her on TV. It's not just whatever information she gives out. People like to see her get worked up and want to advocate for the victims. They like seeing Nancy Grace get mad at these criminals and tell these criminals off. So, again, thank you for the voicemail. Voicemail number 251-216-1976. That's 251-216-1976 to leave a message for the show. And I'll be right back with more show after the break.
We have an accident reported on I-10 West approaching Pensacola Boulevard. Delays are backed up to I-110. The Order of Polka Dots will be parading tonight at 6:30 along the downtown route, and the Bankhead Tunnel will close at about 5:30. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Bakke.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders.
Oh, don't forget, if you're having trouble in your family, you can bring your family together with these sliders.
Real MVP. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery.
All right, YouTube viewers, let me double check and see if anybody's still there. Back on the radio here in just a few minutes. And yes, we have a small number of people looking in. Excalibur One Force. Make it stick. Steve, good to see Steve. All right, let us see. Let me see what I can tell you about while I'm waiting to go back on the radio here. I saw a report about how Americans are supposed to eat. I can't remember the number. It was something like 1 billion chicken wings or something like that. It was a report, a chicken wing report that was issued by the National Chicken Council. This was a news story. News in quotation marks. The National Chicken Council. And they issued some report about how there's going to be like 1.5 billion chicken wings eaten Sunday for the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. I think, wouldn't it be fun to be on the Chicken Council and have a business card. I would want to be on the National Chicken Council just to have a business card that said, oh, Uncle Henry, member, National Chicken Council. All right, let's see, what can I tell you? In Delhi, in India, they have an underwear vending machine in an India metro station. And the officials there in India say that these machines have been set up at several stations in recent months to offer both food and non-food items, including undergarments and cosmetics, when you are commuting to and from work. Now, I hate the idea that somebody might need to buy underpants on their way to work or on their way home. It's just, my heart goes out to them. Whatever they're up to, my heart goes out to them. It can't be good. All right, there's a 67-year-old man in Chicago who has won 3 court cases where he was accused of impersonating a police officer. Now, this guy, the reason this is in the weird news file, this guy represented himself in all 3 trials. He was accused of flashing a badge from a fake police agency when he was visiting some government office. This guy, he has beat the rap 3 times, 3 different times, acting as his own lawyer. All right, I want to know more. I need to know more about the story. It sounds like almost like he's doing it for fun. He hadn't hurt anybody or anything or stolen from anybody. He's just flashing a badge and then defending himself in court.
Station.
Uncle Henry's show continues. It's 5:50. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes from Fox, and then more Uncle Henry's show. There is a meeting tomorrow at Hill Spring Baptist Church in Mobile at 10:30 in the morning. It's another election integrity meeting. And there's a man in town that is touring the country talking about election integrity. His website is handcountroadshow.org. Handcountroadshow.org. His name is Mark Cook, touring the country talking about this. I'm gonna interview him in the next segment of the show. So you want to find out more about this meeting tomorrow coming up about election integrity? Why is this guy touring the country? I'll talk to him about that in the next half hour of the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Now, let's see. Before we get to the news headlines at the top of the hour, if you want to call in, telephone number 251-479-2723. It's 251-479-2723. Now, a couple of stories about people doing dumb things online. So frustrating to me because you think about the potential, all the information we've got at our fingertips with our telephones. And so many people, instead of learning something or doing something positive, they get involved in horrible stuff. Now, you may have already seen this story. There is a dangerous TikTok trend, another one, and a 9-year-old Chicago boy is been severely burned for trying out this TikTok trend. I've got the story from Fox News. This involves putting stuff in a microwave oven.
The boy's face was roasted and his right eye was swollen shut when his Nido sensory toy exploded in his face when he left it in the microwave. The trend, popularized on the social media site, is supposed to make the rubber toy more flexible. The burns are expected to leave permanent scars. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
Saw the picture online. Awful looking. The boy looks like he's going to be fine, but horrible picture. And I hope that dermatologists and cosmetic surgeons can help the kid going forward. But again, we have all of this incredible potential at our fingertips. And what do we use it for? Are we using it to learn things to make our lives better? Are we using it to learn? Are we on our phones giving ourselves an education, bettering ourselves? No. We're putting toys in microwave ovens. And what else? There was this horrible trend. And I know you've seen it too on Facebook, where really simple-minded people are creating cartoons of themselves. Here is Lanice Lagan reporting on this trend of people, instead of learning or doing something positive with their smartphone and using the internet in a positive way, people are making cartoons of themselves.
Social media timelines are being flooded with cartoon-like images, cluttered with clocks, trophies, coffee mugs, notepads, and flowers. The challenge is simple. Users type the prompt, create a caricature of me and my job based on everything you know about me. Add whatever details you want the AI to consider and hit generate. From kitchen sets to TV sets, people are having a blast with this.
People are having a blast because narcissism has now become a national pastime, has it not? We've all been taught now from birth that the most important thing is to get attention for yourself.
One married man whose ring mysteriously vanished from his hand. The trend is part of a broader wave of personalized AI-generated content that's been sweeping social platforms. Similar challenges have asked AI to imagine.
It's sweeping social media platforms. No, it's not. It's clogging. She says, "Oh, these cartoons, these simple-minded, narcissistic people, putting cartoons of themselves. Oh, it's sweeping the social." No, it's not sweeping. It's clogging. Just think of the internet as a sewer, because that's what it is. It's a sewer. The internet is a sewer, and think of something like this. It's clogging it. That's all it's doing. It's not sweeping, and everybody's, "Oh, we're having a good time." This is more narcissistic, simple-minded garbage, clogging the internet like a toilet in a bus station. It is just, and I don't know what the plunger would be, other than to go cold turkey off of this stuff. They keep telling us AI is the future. So the future is going to be further navel-gazing and narcissistic self-worship is our future thanks to AI. All right, more show after the break.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. The Hart Senate Office Building is up the block from the U.S. Capitol. It's the youngest of the 6 House and Senate office buildings built in 1970.
YouTube viewers, I am looking forward to being back with you tomorrow at the regular time. There's more show to come, but the camera is being turned off. You can listen to the interview coming up on News Radio 710 AM if you... Well, who am I fooling? I know you're going to create a cartoon of yourself or something. Have a pleasant evening and a pleasant tomorrow.
started getting notified about the potential displacement in November. Since then, senators and senior aides have complained privately to party leaders and the Senate Rules Committee that the construction would disrupt their daily business and that attempts to mitigate the impacts were insufficient. The construction work was not disclosed when senators chose their offices. In other words, a senator may have chosen another office had they known about the construction work in advance. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Hey, Uncle Henry here with two people who know a thing or two about financial stability. Meet John McNeil and Virginia O'Brien with Mobile Bay Financial.